So, hallo und willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Vampyr. Im letzten Part haben wir endlich mal unseren Erzeuger sprechen können und jetzt möchten wir mal Edgar fragen, ob er mehr dazu weiß. Dr. Sawansa.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
So, Dr. Swansea, dann rede mal mit mir.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
Jonathan, please. I can't rely on anyone else. And this concerns you as it involves vampires. Someone has taken advantage of our more liberal tendencies here.
In what way?
Jonathan, I may turn my head when you or her ladyship indulge, but I will not allow this place to become a nest for street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Privern suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Okay.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Okay, aber bevor wir zu den Docks gehen, möchte ich erstmal... Ich habe, glaube ich, immer noch kein Ding gegen Migräne. Ich gehe mal kurz in mein Zimmer und schau mal, ob ich andere Medizin herstellen kann. So, wo ist mein Arbeitstisch? Da. Oh, wir haben nichts. Schade. Okay, gegen Kopfschmerzen haben wir aber was. Neuerdings, da haben wir nicht. Blutarmut. Gut, dann gucke ich mal, dass ich denen helfe, denen ich helfen kann. Liegt der hier?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Gut, der geht's gut.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, Nurse?
I will be fine as soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Gut, die erholt sich. Sehr schön. Migräne haben wir sowieso keine Behandlung.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman, butchered by some savage scowl.
Would you care to partake in this meal with me?
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Okay.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
Ja, die kann man natürlich nicht trinken, weil sie ja selber Vampir ist. Okay, der ist gesund. Gut, Armut. Komm, dann gehe ich noch schnell da rein und hilf der Frau. Und dann gehen wir nach Whitechapel und schau mal.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Oh, ich hab nix.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Mein Sohn ist eh gesund. Okay, dann probiere ich mal die Frau zurück nach Whitechapel zu bekommen. Es gibt einen kleinen Schnellschnitt. Gut, ich probiere nochmal, mich an möglichen Gegnern einfach vorbeizuschleichen. Noch Ablenkzeit. Schön Zeug einsammeln.
Oi! You listening? Stay away!
So, unsichtbar.
It's one of them!
Naja, immerhin ein bisschen.
We've got one of them here! He's dead!
Gut. Das wäre geschafft. Durchboxen ist doch nicht ganz so schwer. So, mal trinken. Sehr schick. Okay. Lesen wir das mal. Reicher Kuss, was ist denn das? Keine Ahnung, was es sein soll. Was sie da als Wunderwaffe gegen Vampire verkaufen. Ah, da ist sie ja.
Oh, you can trust me. Why have you...
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
You should go home now.
No, not yet. I miss my dear Matthew so much, and I can't forgive myself.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually, you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
No.
You should go home now.
No, not yet. I miss my dear Matthew so much, and I can't forgive myself.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiaoshu.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
Okay.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me.
even if I don't quite understand why.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I heard that she used to help the refugees, but unfortunately you don't see her around anymore.
Okay.
Goodbye, Xiaoshun. Maybe we'll talk later.
Okay, also egal was ich gesagt habe, ich konnte sie nicht überzeugen, zurückzugehen.
Hello again, Xiaoshun.
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Ja, das bringt alles nichts. Nee.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
So, endlich.
You know you can trust me. Why have you not spoken to me?
Gut, wir haben es endlich geschafft. Dass sie zurückgeht nach Whitechapel. Und dann gehen wir mal Richtung Docks und schauen wir, ob wir den Hampton finden können. Okay. Ach komm, ich tue auf jeden Fall mal die Quest aktivieren. Immer noch mehr Skulls.
As I feared, Samuel no longer features the good guy.
Schatten. Resistenz also eigentlich nicht. Kriegen wir noch mal eine Kleinigkeit. Boah, nee, das ist schon zu viel. Okay, wir haben mehr zu diesem Fahrerneuling. Lehrling.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
Okay, dann gehen wir schnell mal zu dem Fahrer. Da kommen wir eh nicht durch. Nö.
This man's far too old to be Samuel. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Ja, gucken wir uns hier mal um. Ah, schöner Unterschlupf. Vielleicht noch was zu analysieren. Gut, dann legen wir es mal kurz hin. So, mehr Blut durch Kampf trinken. Und mehr maximal. Noch kritisch. West End, okay, da waren wir sowieso noch nicht. Ja, im Hospital sieht es recht gut aus. Ja, und zu den Docks müssen wir auf jeden Fall mal noch. So, dann würde ich sagen, für diesen Part reicht's mal. Im nächsten Part werden wir schauen, dass wir dem Pfarrer mal Bericht erstatten, dass wir das Tagebuch von dem Jungen gefunden haben und dass wir dann endlich mal wieder zu den Docks gehen. Bis dahin, macht's gut, euer Meta.